Hello, my name is Robert Unger. I'm the Director of Worship and Music at Resurrection Lutheran Church in Cary, North Carolina. Today I'd like to visit with you on the hymn of Transfiguration. O Wondrous Type, O Vision Fair. Celestis Fam Gloriam is an anonymous Latin hymn written for the Feast of Transfiguration, when that festival came into common observance in the 15th century. While the Benedictines on the European continent had observed the Transfiguration of the Lord centuries earlier, it was not until the 15th century that the observance became common in England. It first appears in the Sarum Breviary from the Old Sarum Rite in Salisbury. The well-known prolific translator John Mason Neale translated this Latin text along with 94 others in the Lutheran hymn, or in the hymnal noted, which he prepared for the Ecclesiastical Society. Dr. Neale was a classically trained Latin scholar steeped in medieval Latin. He also opened the door to the rich tradition of the Eastern hymnody with his translation of Greek hymns. His translation of Celestis Fam Gloriam was considered altered in hymns ancient and modern, and was altered again in the hymnal 1940 by the Episcopal Church. The Feast of the Transfiguration is rooted in the accounts in the three synoptic Gospels, Matthew chapter 17, Mark chapter 9, and Luke chapter 9. Matthew sets the context as follows. Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them privately up a high mountain, and he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. Then Moses and Elijah also appeared before him, talking with him. While he was still speaking, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my dear Son, in whom I take great delight. Listen to him." This mountaintop experience is one of the miracles of Jesus that identify him as the Christ, the Son of God. The great theologian Thomas Aquinas considered this to be the greatest of all his miracles, complementing his baptism. 5th century custom identifies the Mount of Tabor in Lower Galilee, on which now rests the Church of the Transfiguration, a space shared by the Eastern Orthodox and the Roman Catholic traditions. O Wondrous Sight was originally titled O Wondrous Type. It describes the wonder and majesty of this event, as well as its implications in the text. Raphael's painting Transfiguration was painted within 25 years of the appearance of the Sarum Breviary in 1495. O wondrous type, O vision fair, of glory that the church may share, which Christ upon the mountain shows, where brighter than the sun he glows. With Moses and Elijah nigh, the incarnate Lord holds converse high, and from the cloud the Holy One bears record to the only Son. With shining face and bright array, Christ deigns to manifest today. What glory shall be theirs above, who trust in his atoning love? This hymn is most often sung to either Deo Gracias, which is the Agincourt carol, or the tune named Warum. I'm going to talk about Deo Gracias, the Agincourt carol. It's known as the Agincourt carol because it celebrate King Henry V's exploits in France and his victory at the Battle of Agincourt in October of 1415. Two versions are known. One is found in an early 15th century parchment roll at Trinity College in Cambridge. The other, a mid-15th century book of carols and liturgical pieces from the Bedeline Library in Oxford, probably from the mid-15th century, and later transcribed with extensive notes in Sir John Stainer's Bedeline Music. Parchment rolls were often sometimes used as a convenient means of transporting and settling out music for the performances, rather than for long-term preservation. The absence of any need for binding and for page turns made them cheap and convenient. But the decorating, handwriting, and notation of the Trinity roll suggests that this example was intended to last. The decoration of the Oxford manuscript, red and blue initials with substantial flourishes in the margin, and the care taken over its layout in the script suggests that it was also meant to endure. Neither manuscript has a clear provenance, but the dialect of Middle English found in the carols in the Trinity roll is thought to be that of Southern Norfolk. The format is that of a carol, a song of celebration for 2 or 3 voices usually associated with the Christmas season, but which could sometimes, as here, be used to commemorate an event of great stature. Here the refrain is set for 3 voices and the verses are set for 2. The melody is undoubtedly a well-known folk tune, considerably older than the manuscript. It has a fanfare at the beginning and a longer cantilena at the end to the words Deo Gracias, where possible embellishments could be made, and added, perhaps in response to the king's wish that no ditties should be made or sung by minstrels or others, for that he would wholly have the praise and thanks altogether given to God. The unexpected syncopation which occurs throughout this carol is strikingly interesting and effective. Archibald Jacob described it as a magnificently direct and stirring tune with a vehement dignity and a remarkable expression of triumph and pride. I'd like to play for you Agincourt Carol, or Deo Gracias, on the organ.